Welcome into Varsity College Football, your new home for college football and only college football. Thank you for tuning in. Happy to have you here. Please leave a like or click that subscribe button if you love all things college football. This is the home for you. Or leave a comment, anything college football related. I'll get on it. Now, we got recruiting National Signing Day for the 2024 class tomorrow, but 2025 is here. It's time to start talking that class as much as we can. And I got two classes that I think are the best so far and can have exponential growth through these classes. Now, we also got TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Follow on those socials as well. We will be active through those other channels as well. Thank you for tuning in. You're here for recruiting. Let's get to some recruiting. The Ohio State is cooking in 2025. Basically, the best class in terms of player average besides USC, but USC only has one player committed, so the average is insane. Ohio State, you got the best quality of class currently. When I read this off for you, you're just going to be like, oh my Lord. They currently sit at number 4 in 247s, but I'd have them at basically with 1A, 1B with LSU right now. This class is lining up to be insane. I mean, it's Ohio State top 5 pretty consistently in the past decade, except for 2 years, 2019 and 2015 were the 2 years they were not, but 2015 was still a top 10 class. Now, many schools can recruit like the Ohio State. So listen to this. You got the number 1 player in Texas, the number 1 player in Alabama, the number 1 player in Ohio, the number 2 player in Ohio, the number 1 player in Pennsylvania, the number 2 player in Maryland, and you also have 2 other recruits in this class so far. Wow. This is the real deal. Let's start with the number 1 player in Texas and the number 1 player in my home state, Alabama. You got Devin Sanchez and Naeem Offord, the number 1 players in their states, the top 2 cornerbacks in the country in the same class. They're also both top 6 players overall. So, I mean, this is absolutely wild. Insanity. This is a cornerback duo that if they get on the field together at their time at Ohio State, because it said that Devin may be more college ready than Naeem, but this duo could be wild. So Devin's the one out of Texas. He's the number 1 cornerback. He's out of North Shore High School, which is currently a powerhouse in the Lone Star State. Great height. He's 6'2", apparently has really good length. And when you see him in person, his athleticism is said to be incredible. So his catching abilities, along with anticipation on the ball, are what's said to be next level. Sorry, I stumbled over my words there. Now let's go on to Naeem out of Parker High School in Birmingham, Alabama. He's incredible in man zone, whatever you put him in. And his speed, I mean, man, sideline to sideline. Cover whatever you want with Naeem. He has got you. I've gotten to see him play a few times. He'll make your jaw drop. He's the real deal. He could be a nightmare matchup for receivers. Get a few more pounds on him in college, which he most likely will. I mean, he's going to Ohio State, the Ohio State. The training program is going to help him tremendously. But like I said, he apparently has said not to be as college ready as Devin. But I expect both these guys, especially if he fills out, to be future NFL cornerbacks. And at their time in Ohio State, I expect them to be on the field together at a point. And man, they are going to make quarterbacks hate throwing the football. So now let's move on to Tavian St. Clair, the number 1 player in Ohio and number 3 quarterback in his class, or in the class. He's the 12th overall player nationally. He's 6'4". He was the OHSAA Division III All-Ohio first-team selection. School record 3,083 yards with the school record 37 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. In his career, he has a 75 touchdown to 18 interception ratio. Pretty dang good. So he's a great player coming into an already pretty loaded QB room. Aaron Nolan, Julian Lewis, obviously. But iron sharpens iron, man. Keep him there. Home state kid. It's a good day to be a Buckeyes fan thinking about quarterbacks there, man. Then we move on to Carter Lowe, the number 2 player in Ohio and number 4 offensive tackle nationally. 6'5", 290. Apparently, he's very powerful and physical up front on the line, and he has great ability in pass pro, which is great to hear, especially for a school like Ohio State. I'll always say a high-profile lineman, one of the best recruits you can get. You never know, and you always want a high-profile lineman recruit. Nothing better than filling in the trenches. So now let's move on. We got Zahir Mathis, the number 1 player in Pennsylvania and the number 9 edge nationally. 6'6", 225. this size and just pure athleticism will allow him to carry on the tradition of just absolute studs at the end and edge position that Ohio State has been producing for this kind of modern era of football. This kid's going to be special. You got Blake Woodby, the number 2 player in Maryland and number 12 cornerback nationally. And I mean, you start to look at this class and you realize Ryan Day and Jim Knowles are really not kidding around with the defense at all. I mean, you got 4 top 100 defensive players and 2 of them are in the top 6. You got edge, you got corner. Oh man, just ridiculous. You got 3 cornerbacks, like I said, number 1, number 2, and number 12 nationally at corner. So that loads in to your room pretty well, especially with one class getting 3 top 12 corners and 2 of them being the 1 and number 2 in the country. So you finish out this class with 3-star wide receiver Javon Boggs, who's out of Florida, who seems to apparently be kind of a hidden gem, which is good to hear for Ohio State. And then you have 3-star linebacker, who is the number 15 player in Ohio, Eli Lee, who has pretty good size at 6'3", 215. Seems like he could be a great player considering Jim Knowles and James Laurinaitis really keyed in on him and wanted him to come to Ohio State. Helps being a fan, but also when you have those guys coming after you and telling you they want you, you know that you need to be there. So Ryan Day, Jim Knowles, the rest of the staff, Ohio State's starting to cook on the trail. 2025, Ohio State LSU could have the 2 best classes in the country. Obviously, Georgia will end up making their way sometime in there. But right now, it's looking like those 3 schools. But these so far, I mean, you got quarterbacks in both these classes. You always want one because once you get that quarterback, people know you start to get a lot more talent around that quarterback because they have someone they can believe and play under while they're there. Huge classes so far by both these schools. Obviously, you want to keep them together. Not as many kids decommit as you think. It's just kind of a thing that people think now, which I guess it's fair. But 2025, especially once the season starts, you start getting even more wins and more players. These classes are going to fill out and they're going to be quite insane. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, please leave a like or subscribe if you like this kind of content. Want more recruiting, talk about a team, whatever you want college football related, leave a comment. I'll get on it. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day.